Now turning to one of the newest tools aimed at keeping terrorists off airplanes, airport scanners that may not work as well as we thought. And at least one manufacturer of those scanners is coming under scrutiny. A new study shows that the machines often can't tell the difference between body sweat and a bomb. ABC's Brian Ross has been investigating, and these were so controversial here because of what they show.
Exactly right. The complaints about them had always been the body scanners show too much of the body. But now, based on a study in Germany, it seems they are also highly unreliable.
In the U.S., there are some 250 of the full-body scan machines in question.
You shake your hands and place them above your head like so.
Being used at 40 airports across the country. Made by an American company, L3 Communications, they use radio frequencies to scan for hidden weapons and explosives. At a cost of about $170,000 each, U.S. officials call them the best available technology. But that has now been challenged in Germany, where officials announced this week the machines and the software are currently too unreliable to be used. A 10-month trial at the Hamburg airport found false alarms 49% of the time, often body sweat under the arms reading as explosives, according to German reports. It's a very sensitive device, said one police official, and picks up traces of everything on a person's body.
The German experience has demonstrated exactly how ineffective the devices are when they can't distinguish between body sweat and explosives or the pleats in a traveler's pants and an underwear bomb. It's not making anyone safer.
Passengers at the Los Angeles airport said they were surprised and concerned about the findings.
All that technology, all that money, and it gives you a false positive, so maybe a waste of resources.
The company that makes the body scan machines would not comment for us, while a spokesman for the TSA said the machines are the best they've got for now, and that since last year the technology has detected more than 300 dangerous or illegal items on airport passengers, mostly knives and drugs. They're good at that, but they do make mistakes.
This coming the same week, the 9/11 Commission members saying we're still at great risk for explosive devices
because
on
the technology is unreliable, and this is a very good example of that.
Okay, Brian, thanks so much.
Furthermore, I'm very concerned about the testing. In the past, when we worked, I see Mr. Cummings there, we were always consulted by TSA in the major acquisition and deployment of new screening technologies. I don't think that that was adequately done in this purchase. I'm concerned about the testing results, and every member of this panel should have a classified briefing. I had the equipment tested by GAO in December of this past year, and then I had the pat-downs tested in January. Everyone should be required, every member of Congress, to see the extensive failure rate. I can't disclose it, but it really concerns me when you spend $500 million and then another $500 million for additional personnel, and it doesn't work as it should. Even the initial deployment of portals is a joke. Even a seventh grader, I think, could come up with a better plan for deploying and utilizing this equipment, and it doesn't have to be used for everyone like we have seen it deployed. And then again, I have great concern about the failure of its use and even the implications of its use. People in this country are protected by the Fourth Amendment. They shouldn't be subject to search, illegal search and seizure and embarrassment and assumed guilty. We can and we must do better, especially for aviation security, and I'm disappointed
The advanced imaging body scanners are touted by TSA as the latest, most effective layer of security to stop a potential threat from boarding an airliner. Yet a high-ranking, long-time reliable source with direct access to the TSA's latest covert testing out at DFW tells us an undercover agent with a firearm hidden in her undergarments made it through the 5 body scanners she put to the test at DFW without ever being detected.
And they get through? That's very troubling.
Thankfully, says the former head of American Airlines Security Division, she was testing the system and not a real terrorist.
In this case, where they had a test and it was such a dismal failure, as I'm told, as I've heard, you've got a problem, especially with a firearm.
We are told the tests were conducted last weekend, and the agents who failed to detect the pistol were not even disciplined.
It's critically important that you do something, because if that person failed in a test environment, when the real thing comes along, then you've got a problem.
The TSA did not deny the results of last weekend's tests. It only offered up this statement, insisting it does not comment on the results of covert tests. We regularly test our officers in a variety of ways to ensure the effectiveness of our technology, security measures, and the overall layered system. Going on to say, advanced imaging technology is an effective tool to detect both metallic and non-metallic items hidden on passengers. But agents acknowledge that technology is only as good as the officers monitoring it.
So it's a total process, and if there's any one of them that breaks down during this situation, you've got a problem.
Sniffer dogs are universally recognized as one of the most effective means of detecting explosives.